I look like I feel. Hi, everybody. Happy October 4th. Happy Bandcamp Friday. Happy Aura in Orbit release week. Happy Friday. Just happy Friday. I'm going to come live real quick just to let you guys know. I got that project out, the Aura and Orbit Compilation project on Bandcamp. If you make a purchase today, Bandcamp waives all the fees for artists, and I'll be able to recoup whatever is downloaded on today. I'm doing basically a fundraiser sale of my art and creativity and music. I'm really, really excited and proud of the project and of my body of work so far. And when I was looking at the release this week and also looking at the previous projects I did, I was like, you know what? I just want to celebrate. I want to do this. And usually I'll encourage streaming because we live in a streaming society. And this week I was like, this is also my business. Let me encourage people to download. Let me do that call to action. So please, you can stream it. It'll let you stream it and listen to it. The playlist is really good and really relaxing. I listened to it a couple of times yesterday and was like, oh my God, I like how all these flow, because I didn't write those songs in tandem to be together, but it just flowed nicely on like a little compilation project. So it's got the latest single, Aura in Orbit. It's got Ride a Till that I released the beginning of this year in February. It's got Heartbreaker Trick in a Game that I released on April Fool's. It's got Light that I released back in 2021. I wrote that song in 2006. It has Black Heart on the Table, I'm Still Human, a spoken word poem about black girl magic versus the human heart. And in that particular poem, I'm talking about how my black girl magic shores up everything. Like it's there to fix a quick need, like make $1 out of 15 cents kind of thing. But when it comes to my human heart and my health and staying busy, it doesn't always help those problems. And we have to take that cape off for a second and really deal with our humanity. And so it's me, the magician, or me, the chanteuse, or me operating in that magic and saying, I'm also still human. That's why you see the themes for a lot of my projects, for Black Heart on the Table and for my projects, where I'm operating as a magician. You'll either see me in a magician's hat, you'll see me with a magician's wand, you'll see me with, just various things, because I'm playing on what's called black girl magic. That's the whole premise. That's why I do that. I know some people were watching it and it was like, Chanel, are you in dark magic, or what is it that you're doing? No, I am playing on the theme of black girl magic, because that's what we call ourselves. And it's a beautiful thing, because black girl magic has saved the entire world when you think about it. But sometimes it's at the expense of our own health and our own humanity. So that's where that poem comes from. Another project on there is called Skeleton House, is a bonus track. And it's a quick prose. I wrote that a while ago. And it's basically it's from the theme of renting a house you actually own. And when you're a people pleaser, when you are around people who can be very manipulative and operate out of Darvo tactics or gaslighting, or just someone who's very controlling, maybe you've dealt with financial abuse, physical abuse, verbal or emotional abuse, people who make you second guess yourself, where they know something happened and they did something, and then when it's time to confront it, they act like nothing happened. I for some reason this year I've had that happen with about 3 people. And when that continues to happen, I had to really look at, why do I allow that to keep happening? Because my entire life I found myself in positions where, be it with friends, family, or business, where people know they're doing things that are just not right, and I'll let it slide and let it slide, and finally I'll say something, and then it turns into this Darvo stonewalling thing. And it's like, okay, that's their coping mechanism with not wanting to accept accountability. But it's also them trying to control my natural reactions and natural feelings. And I can't keep letting people do that. So that's why I wrote Skeleton House. It deals with boundaries, setting boundaries. It deals with actually having that epiphany and saying, if I'm going to be a house, if I am a house, I need to make sure my foundation is straight. I need to make sure my walls are built firmly, my boundaries are fit firmly, my door is operating correctly. That's why I say it's like I have a door that's open, and anyone could just come in and ransack me. You don't want to do that. And so that's where Skeleton House comes from. And I thought it was appropriate to add to the Aura in Orbit compilation project because Aura in Orbit for me is a lifestyle. That's what I'm learning in these last 6 months. But in the last, I want to say 3 months, I've been saying it's Aura in Orbit time. It's Aura in Orbit time. And what I mean by that is I'm in control of my aura, my personality, how I respond, how I react. No matter what anyone does, I'm in control of how I react. I don't have to give them the reaction they want. The other part of that is I allow the orbit. So whatever I'm consuming, whatever I'm allowing into my aura impacts what orbits around me, impacts the life I'm living. So when I say it's Aura in Orbit time, it means it's time to look at my aura, make sure my overall person, spirit is cleansed. If there's things I still need to heal from it. If there's situations I need to dead it, pull it off the life support, bury it, put up a mausoleum for it, and hold the obituary in my hand and say, I wish you well. And really move in the flow. Because when I think about Aura in Orbit, I think about a garden. I think about a garden that sustains itself. I think about how a garden allows ecosystems to come in and flourish and feed off of it, and how it continues to replenish. I think about how humans are able to get fruit and vegetables from it, shade, beautiful flowers, how bees are able to make pollen and get the nectar and the things they need to make the honey. It's an ecosystem thing. And when you understand divine femininity and what that means, we're receptive. We're built to receive. We're built to create and team life. I say that phrase in the song, it makes me teem like the center of a custard dream. I'm talking about fertility. I'm talking about life is about to team. I'm receptive. And so that's why I wrote the song Aura in Orbit about the beauty of the chase. When I used to serve as a clergy minister, we used to always talk about tools. And we used to always talk about when you use things for their proper purpose, and then when things are not used for their proper purpose, when we abuse that purpose, or when we do things with that thing and use it in a way it shouldn't be used. So I've written Black Heart on the Table about Black girl magic versus the human heart versus humanity. How have we been using Black women? How have we been using Black girls? How has our society treated Black people and Black women, and how we live as humans? When I had that heart attack, it changed my life because it made me face life. It made me face, okay, I could keep going busy, I could keep moving, I could keep operating out of my magic and shoring everything up, but at what point is it going to capsize me and kill me and mess up my orbit? And then everybody who benefits from my orbit is going to collapse too. I got a whole 10-year-old son and an ecosystem, a whole multi-generational family that orbits around my orbit. My mom was saying to me yesterday because I had to go to ER for something. Nothing major. One of my medications got messed up, and so we had to get it dealt with. And so we got it fixed, so my insulin's all better now. It's related to my diabetes. And as we were going, Mom said, we can't lose you. Like our whole world would change if you cease to exist. And as she was saying it, I was like, why is my mom saying this to me? And she was like, no, we can't lose you. Our entire world would cease to exist. Like it would change the nature of everything about our world. And that's why I wrote Aura in Orbit. I study human behavior for the purposes of learning, seeking, understanding, so we can get humanity right. Somebody told me one time that my desire to seek sometimes can be like a drug. And so what I've been learning from that constructive criticism is wait for the comprehension. Be eager to learn and receptive to learn, but don't be so eager to decipher and figure it out that you mess up moments, lose your cool too soon, be too reactive, but just sit back and just observe. Let the comprehension come to you. Aura in Orbit. Deep, huh? No. For those who got it. For those who maybe like, you're tripping, I understand. We all think and believe based on how we receive information. And that's how I see it. I see life in color. I see life in visuals. That's how I've always been. I've been a visual learner. And then being a creative person, I'll see things in prose and in other ways. So that's just the practicality of it. But overall, with this Aura and Orbit compilation, it's basically my work that's out there so far. And what I was really dealing with when I was listening to the project last night was, I've been saying it all along. Everything that you've been seeing in me in this last year on this live, from the good, the bad, the ugly, I've been saying it all along. Black Heart on the Table, Volume 1 is a lament. All the poems and the songs on that particular work is a lament to, I cannot keep shoring everything up with my magic. Something has to give. And I know my magic isn't doing it well. It's just doing it based on what we need. But it's not meeting all the needs. I need some help. I need to overcome this. Is what I say in Black Heart on the Table. I need to overcome this. That's what I say in Black Heart on the Table. So please, listen to it. Have conversations about it. Mental health is very important. Stability is important. Managing your triggers and your trauma, being able to self-regulate is important as well. Don't let people take those things from triggers, trauma, or how you react, especially if people use those triggers to get you to react, to make you think that something is wrong with you or that something's wrong with your character. That is not true. I've had some people say that to me, and I've had to go ahead and kick them out my orbit, because I can't have people practicing those kind of tactics on me. Because that creates a system of self-doubt, especially when you know you're working on it, and especially when you know you've been biting it while they've been practicing and doing things they shouldn't be doing to you. So definitely take everything in life with a grain of salt, and always rest in the foundation of your own aura and your own personality and what you hear in your heart. We already have it. And we don't need anything outside of ourselves to make us have it. I've been learning about love again, self-love, value, and worth, dealing with the breach in my life from the traumas I've had as a little girl, my daddy-mommy issues. That's what I always say. Some people say, oh, she got daddy issues, she got mommy issues. And we say it jokingly, or we say it like in like a backhanded compliment kind of thing, or a backhanded bad compliment. And then you see it come up in your relationships with people. And it's never been a secret that I've had those issues. But one of my really good friends said to me, she said, this is not something that'll be cured with time. It has to be cured with something active. You have to actively work on healing this part of yourself. It is not something that time will work out. That's why we see what we see right now with the state of just humans, relationships, people not really wanting to partner together anymore, people wanting to just live a life without a loving partner. I'll put it that way. Even I found myself now in a place of, it's not that I don't want a loving partner, I don't want nobody coming and messing with my orbit. And I had to accept this year, I'm a very ambitious woman. And with that, that's going to bring up some insecurities in the opposite sex sometimes. Sometimes they're going to take that ambition and think I'm trying to lord it over them, and I'm not. I'm actually being more docile to them. But because my ambition is big, sometimes it's going to ruffle their feather, and I'm not even trying to do it. And I had to accept that for myself this year. And I said, well, do I shrink back? Absolutely not. I said to myself, I don't ever want to shrink back. I know how to compromise. I know how to bend. But I don't want to shrink back. I hate shrinking back. I hate hiding my ideas and my creativity and wanting to test out ideas and things and launch and have faith to launch a project or launch a business or just see if it'll work for someone else's insecurity, or for someone else who can't see it for themselves, so they're going to put a harness on me and say you can't do it either. I don't want that for my life. I know what I want for my life. So I had to accept that this year. I don't want nobody disturbing my aura or my orbit anymore. Not for love, not for business, not even if we share the same blood. Because I've done it for too long, and I'm now 43, and I'll be 44 in December, and life is way too short. I already had the heart attack. I've already dealt with some health stuff. And my baby is already 10. How about that? Not just that I'm already 40. My baby is already 10. That means in 10 years, he's going to be 20. And whatever I do, he watches everything I do. My child is an animator, a stop motion animator, a very creative actor, a very great director. He directs me in all of his stop motion voiceovers. Like every day he fires me. Mom, you're fired. You're not giving me what I want. And he'll go to Auntie Jamila or someone else. It's hilarious. But the boy knows what he wants too. And he does it because he's been watching his mommy do it. And I got a child to raise. I got a job to do. And I can't have somebody coming in and disturbing that aura in orbit. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a special blurred unicorn out there for me. There may be. And if it's meant to be, God will work that out. But until then, Chanel has to love Chanel. And love every part of Chanel and heal from every trauma, every trigger, every daddy mommy issue, everything about what American society tells her that she shouldn't be. Notice how I'm saying this, because we live in a society that tells black women we're not beautiful, that tells black women we're just ox, that tells black women that we don't deserve to be here in our own state and in our own look. I remember I went to Kaiser one time for something, and I walked in. I had a lot on my mind because of what was going on at Kaiser. I was in the ER, just was thinking about the person who was there, and I was walking up to the front desk, and just a little disheveled, not like heavy disheveled, and then I smiled. I went, "Hi, I just need a little help." And the woman looked at me, and she's not black, she's a person of color, but she's a non-black person of color. And she just said, "Ma'am, before you smiled, I thought you was about to come up and curse me out." And I just went, "Really?" And she was like, "Yes, you have a beautiful smile. Thank you for that." I said, "Thank you." And all I kept thinking was, why would she think that? Because I would never, I have cursed people out, but not like on I'm gonna curse you out because I'm gonna curse you out. If I had to curse you out, that means I've given you 10 chances to correct yourself, and you took it too far. That's the only time you will have to. And even then, it's light because I'm holding back because I don't want to hurt you. But as people have said who have had to deal with that side of me, dang, I didn't know you was going to come that hard. And it's like, well, I didn't know you were going to keep taking it too far. I've let it pass 10 times and you did it again. Like, at what point when I have to say, stop doing that? That hurts me, or that's not cool. So, and I would never do it from a place of trying to control anybody or from a place of, trying to hurt someone. It really, if I'm going there, that's because you did something, not because I lead with that. So when that woman said that to me, I was like, dang, was I really looking that unruly? And then I had to look at, where do you live? Okay, I live in this rural town. We are definitely not the majority out here. You could, hey, it's a lot of 45 supporters out here. It's a different community. And so here I am, this, chocolate black woman walking in, and she's just looking at the stereotype of what that looks like and what that does to people. And it's the code switch of the smile. It's the code switch of how we had to be in the field house and the field slave and the house slave. Hi, how you doing, massa? Or how you doing, overseer? I've been trained to do that smile to make everybody comfortable. So I recognize what she was saying to me in that moment, being a conversation about race, racism, stereotypes and prejudices in that moment. Her barrier got broken down by the beauty of my smile that was given to me by both my grandmothers. I'm not an evil person, and that's what Black Girl Magic and the whole Black Harlem Table Project is also about. That's why you always see me in black, red, and white. Black women are made to be the villains. Black men are too. They call our black men, it's that super predator comment. And then for women, they make us out to be villains. So we all have these chasms and these traumas and these issues from our past, and they come up in life. And some of us are struggling with our healing. Some of us struggle with accountability. For me, I can always admit if I've done something wrong. I can always let bygones be bygones. But I do live now from we agree to agree. We work it out. We agree to disagree. That means we're still gonna work it out, but we just not gonna see eye to eye on that situation. And then we gotta agree to disagree from afar, meaning we have gotten now to the point where we can't even really connect and communicate because some behaviors are not gonna change, and those behaviors are not good for me. And I'm gonna keep throwing my Sagittarius arrows back because I'm not gonna let nobody harm me anymore. When I was in my 20s, I put up with a lot. I was thinking about tolerance also. And I realized this year, I do have a high tolerance for pain. And once again, that comes out of your trauma responses. So Black Heart on the Table is an examination of the heart. That's what this whole project is about. And like I said in my last stream, I'm not perfect. I don't lead with perfection. I look in that mirror every day. That's the call that I feel in my heart, and the conviction that I have is that you take that knife to yourself, so to speak, not as a martyr, not as a woe is me, I'm gonna be on the ground kind of thing, but I'm gonna break the curses. I'm gonna break those passed down traumas so that I can provide a far better life for the generations to come. Because if we continue to live like this, we're never going to experience true and real love. We're never going to be whole. We're always going to pass down, these crazy mental things that we all deal with, relentlessness and just nonsense. It's nonsense when you think about it. I remember I'm about to quote Dr. Umar, and it's not that I don't like Dr. Umar. I actually do like him a lot. I laugh because there's sometimes he'll say something and I'll be like, that was on it. And then there's sometimes he'll say, I'll be like, I gotta meditate on that a little bit. I don't think we agree there. But he said, when you ever deal with the person that snaps, get out of their way because they're not there anymore. Something has happened to the point where they're not there. They'll black out and they'll harm you. And that helped me better understand certain types of behavior, certain types of abuse, certain types of people. They're there, but they're not there. And you got to let people be where they are. It's difficult because you love them. You really do. But you have to find your bottom line too. And I know for me, my child right now, and I know for the rest of my life, will be my bottom line. If I'm not in my A game and my aura and orbit is not right, and my connection to my source, which is God, and my faith, I'm a Christian. I say the evolution of my faith, and people don't like when I say that because they don't know what I mean when I say that. I know what I mean, and that's what matters. I feel like I don't have to defend that anymore because that prayer life, that intercessory life works for me while other things don't. And I have to be clear on that. Because I've lived in the abuse for too long. I've lived in other people's control for too long. That ox, that yoke and that ox from people, not God, from people is heavy. It's not light. And it makes you second guess everything that you are. And God is like, I put things in you and I want you to do it. And sometimes they're not going to agree with that. Sometimes there's things you're going to have to say in your material that some church people may not agree with. They may exile you. But you say it anyway because it's going to bless somebody who needed to hear it in that moment to get them set free from whatever they're going through. So I'm still talking about Black Heart on the Table, and I'm still talking about Aura and Orbit. It's a state of mind. I get it. I understand some people may be like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about life. I'm talking about enjoying this life, flourishing in this life, not just surviving. For the first time, I've had a great sense of peace. This whole 2024 has kicked my butt in a way that I did not expect it to do. And I think it happened to pull me out of my recluse state. After getting sick and being in that hospital bed and being forced to work remotely, I became a little reclusive. to the point where it's not that I didn't want to go outside. I just didn't want to be around people anymore. My mom and aunt were talking once, and what was said was that Janelle's a very beautiful woman, but she carries so much pain on her. And when my mom shared it, I said, she's telling the truth. And then my godmom said, I'm just praying for you because you've had so many disappointments and hard disappointments in your life. And some of them are just unfair. Like, you don't lead with that type of you don't lead with that type of negativity where the attacks that come to you match. Like, I could see if you were a mean-spirited person, then the attacks that come on you would be normal. But you don't lead, and people have come for you in ways that I don't even understand. Because I see you, and she said it, I'm not just saying that because you're my goddaughter, I'm saying it because you've always been that way. And that heart attack, breaking my leg, being on that hospital bed in the middle of my living room, that was hard. Ooh, that changed my entire core. But it also, I was becoming reclusive. I was pulling back, and something in me was like, Chanel, you can't do that. Yes, nothing wrong with wanting to come home. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be in your house and be quiet, and I ain't gonna make it to your function, friend. I love you, but I'm not gonna make it. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong when there's a dominant fear of people again, or a dominant fear of, go ahead, you're fine.
Okay.
You can get through. Or do you need me to move the chair?
No, it's okay.
I won't put you on camera. And with that, it forced me to get back out. It forced me to face those things again. It forced me to face the people pleaser again. It forced me to go through another situation like I've been through before, and nothing I could do about it. And then finally I had to say, you know what? Let them make me the villain. It's okay. I stood up for myself, and that's what matters. And I'm going to keep standing up for myself because that's what matters. And the way I respond is also what's going to matter, because I don't want to exert too much energy anymore or give things too much life. Because, you know, when you're in a tussle or you're in a situation, sometimes people are trying to get you to come out of your own character. And guess what? I don't have to do that no more. Everybody don't have to be my friend. That's a hard pill to swallow when you have to start saying that. Because I do want to see everybody win. And I do want to always try to make amends if you can. But if you know someone is hell-bent on drilling holes in your boat because of whatever they're going through, you know, jealousy comes from what someone is going through. And I'm the kind of person, I don't get jealous at all. Now, something may irritate me, yes. But I'm a firm believer God gives enough talent to each and every human being in whatever excess or lack or less that is necessary based on that person's personality, based on their experiences, based on whatever it is they're called to do. I always live from, I can never be you and you can never be me. But I celebrate who you are, and I hope you'll celebrate who I am. Even if people get things that maybe I was trying to obtain to, even in those moments, there's no jealousy. There's, how can I do better? There's, what is it that I have to learn from this? Or what is it that I have to do? Not so much to obtain what they got, but that I can go out and obtain what's for me. People get it twisted. And we have to understand that part of the struggle when it comes to Aura in Orbit, because Crabs in a Barrel does live, unfortunately, in our culture. So while we're fighting the big fight of trying to heal, just so we can get into the society and live healthy, compete, you know, not be disenfranchised, we also have those shadow box situations in our own community where we're dealing with the crabs in the barrel, or we're dealing with, oh, you're just a hater, or you're just jealous, or you're just too angry, or you're this, when the reality is, no, you don't want to have accountability, and you want me to be okay with the BS. And instead of just accepting that, no, I'm okay. I'm actually happy with who I am. You may not be happy with who I am. I may not be your cup of tea, but that doesn't mean that I'm not my own cup of tea. So, what I'm getting at with these parts of the conversation is it's really about your own aura and orbit. It's about the aura part of it is a part of your personality. It's a part of your character, your heart, your will, and emotions, right? There's mind, body, and spirit, right? So when you deal with that soul part, because soul is mind, body, and spirit. My soul is all in there, right? Because we're spirit, soul, and body. Our character is one element of us. And then our traumas and triggers are another, and that impact it. And sometimes it could change the nature of the soul, where it goes back to, like I said, about the clergy ministry, how is it being used properly for its proper use, or is it now being used from an adapted, different use? Art is sometimes born out of disturbing situations in the struggle, and that's where my art is born out of. That's where all the songs from my soul come from. Before I changed the title of my catalog, well, the overall title of my catalog has always been Songs from My Soul. But then in the last, was it 5 years now, Black Heart on the Table is what was born out of that. And that was born out of the new level of struggles I went through. 2012 was a hard year. 2016 was a hard year, and 2024 is now another catalyst year for me. It's funny how those are those even numbers right there. But and what I mean by that is I discovered some things both about myself and about the people in my orbit. People that, it's not so much that I didn't think that they wouldn't do it. I knew they would do it. I've known this since I was a child. And it's not just one person, it's several people. In fact, I used to call it out for years. People just be like, Janelle, we know, just let it go. And I'm like, no, when are we going to call truth to power and check people and say you can't do that? And then I realized protection is important. When you look at black women in society, and when you look at a black woman who has a father that takes care of her and loves her and protects her, protection, hear what I'm saying? That black child who has a father that protects them and a village that protects them operates in life differently. And people know, don't mess with her. Her father gonna come and beat you up. Her brother gonna come and get you. Her uncle gonna come and get you. But if they know that there's a black woman or a woman who doesn't have a father or doesn't have an uncle or doesn't have a support system, ain't nobody gonna come get you if you mess with her, if you break her heart, if you steal from her, if you talk cash crazy to her or say things and then when people walk in the room act like you didn't do nothing. Skeleton House, that's one of the poems, like I said. I've been saying for the last year, I wasn't protected. And I'm realizing more and more as I get older and as my son gets older and how hard I protect him, I'm like, I wasn't really protected the way I thought I was. That explains a lot. And then when I look at how other people or women who do have fathers, who do have brothers, who do have a support system or a village that surrounds them, and how people treat them, I'm like, you're not going to do it because that father going to come and wear you out. I get it now. Now, am I jealous? No. I'm observing human behavior for the purposes of learning and understanding how the world works. Comprehension has always been a struggle for me as a little girl. Now, I know that may come off as like, really? Yeah. It's not that someone explained it to me. They said, it's not that you're dumb or that you don't get it. You actually see everything. It just takes you like 5 days to download it. They said I watch you, and you watch everything. You catch every little nuance of what took place. Like I can ask you verbatim what happened, and you will regurgitate it right back to me. And then it takes you 4 days to just process it. Understanding how the world works, how support works, how families are a support system. We're supposed to be a support system of protection, of guidance, uplift, generations supposed to trickle down to the next in some cases, and then the ones that have been poured into go out and make whatever they got to make of themselves, and it represents that whole family, so to speak. But when there is a chasm in that support system, it impacts the flow, it impacts the orbit. So I know I just went there with you, and like I said, those who get it, you get exactly where I'm coming from. For those who you may get it later at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, I get what you're saying. And those who just may not get it, I understand. Don't worry. We'll get it eventually. And then those who just want to misunderstand on purpose, it is what it is, you know. There are people out there who will purposely go out of their way to misunderstand you, to keep a narrative going. And you just gotta wish them well, say God bless you, and keep going. It's disheartening, but like I said, it's Aura in Orbit time. Protect your aura. I wrote a poem yesterday while sitting in the ER about don't disturb my orbit, don't disturb my aura. And I meant that. I almost want to read it, but I typed it, so I can't read it to you yet. I'll finish it and then do like a dramatic reading of it. But I was writing down, I just said, don't disturb my orbit. Like, don't throw me in a pit and come in here and disturb my orbit. You're not going to win. You're just not. My godmommy told me, she said, you're a fighter. You're going to get back up. No matter how many times life hits you, you're going to get back up. That is who you've always been. Even I had to question it one time. Like, okay, I just had a heart attack. Why am I up here? Even when I had my surgery, the next day I had to deal with some stuff in the apartment. And a friend of mine said, I almost got on you because you were still up fighting something that you needed to. It's not like I got to come out and beat somebody. It was a business matter that I really had to draft an email and deal with because they were playing with us. They didn't want to honor something. And so I had to corporately and politely take the lease and break down what they were not doing and say, this is supposed to happen and you're not doing it. Here are the pictures, here are this. And I had literally just had surgery the day before, sitting here with a whole hole in my body, dealing with these people. And my friend was like, I almost got on your helmet for this because you need to be resting. And the truth is, yes, I do. But that's what happens when you're that head of the household in that sense, where you have to deal with the business of the house. Life doesn't stop because sickness or health comes. Yes, it alters and you got to adapt, but life doesn't stop. You just figure it out and keep going. That's how it is. And that's not me being insensitive to whatever's going on. It's just you got to keep moving, keep your head on the swivel, and keep going with the pivots. That's how it is. But celebrating the Aura in Orbit compilation, take a listen to it. You can stream it. It allows you to stream it first. Stream it. And then please, call to action is download it. It's just $5. And you can also download each individual track if you don't want to do the whole project. Maybe you like a couple of songs on there. You're like, I want to get these songs. You can get them for $1 each. And they also have it where you can pay more if you want to tip the artist. And like I said, I've been saying these things for years. I think now it's starting to click in a way that it didn't. So I say the sermon has to preach to you first, the preacher first, before it can be preached to the masses. And sometimes you get another layer of that sermon. Like it'll start off one way, and then it'll hit you again in another way. So, like I've been saying, it's Aura in Orbit time. It's protect your spirit, protect your personality, protect your character, protect those things that are fragile and important to you, and deal with the boundaries, with the triggers and the traumas too. Recognize you don't need anything outside of yourself to be great. You don't need a man. If you're a woman, you don't need a man. If you're a man, you don't need a woman. Because codependency is a hard lesson we all have to learn, and trauma bonding is another situation too. All you need is your connection with God, and making sure that part is right, and that is the foundation of what you need. And then dead any other situation that comes in to disturb the aura, that comes in to disturb the orbit, that comes in to ransack your stuff. That's what I say in the skeleton house. That comes in to open up a door, and it's like, that's a boundary. Close that door. Don't you come in here disturbing my orbit. Let me say hi to everybody who came in. Okay, I see we have Godwin, Tanisha, David, and Naida. Hi, everybody. But please, take a listen to it. I have some merch. I got the t-shirt up. I'm still editing my music video, and I've got some more lesson to do with Nate, because I just do that between the day. I'll work a little bit on my stuff, and then I stop and we do a little lesson, then I give him a little break, and then I get back to my stuff, and then we just keep going. I've already put fillers out there. I apply to jobs all day long. If you know of anything or people that are hiring, let me know. I will send my resume out. Like you guys all know, everybody already knows my situation. But yeah, check out my project. My art is both art and it is also a business. So I'm going to do that call to action. You're going to see me campaign like I never campaigned before. And the project will be up. So even if you don't purchase today with Bandcamp Friday, you still can purchase it. It's just that they won't waive the fees after that. But so we celebrate it. And Bandcamp Friday is sponsored by Roland for this month. And so I think there's some prizes they have for both people who purchase the work and for some of the artists where you can get like Roland gear or something like that. It's like a sweepstakes. Once you make the purchase, they put you in some kind of sweepstakes. So that's also a part of it. So that's my little talk about the work, how the work came about, and all the conversations that I just had dive a little bit more into each one of those, both poems and songs. Because each song I've written, it's not even either. I've experienced it. If I'm writing about it, it's because I've experienced it. If I've released the work, it's because I've experienced it. And I know other people are going through it and experiencing it, and maybe they need that inspiration too. This is how I got over, or this is what maybe I didn't get all the way over, but I'm working on it, and here's a little nugget for you to help too. We can get over it together. I'm not perfect. I'm human, and I'm okay with that. So I love everybody out there. If you're my friend on my friends list, I love you. Just know I love you. If you're one of the followers on this platform, I love you. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. I see social media as a community. Yes, sometimes I feel like it's taken away the physical experience of having a community. I'm used to being a part of churches because I was a church girl, so I'm always used to being a part of different groups like that. And since I've moved out here to this rural town, sometimes I feel like we lose sense of that. So when I'm able to be around people and hang out, I'm there. I'm taking it all in. I'm like a sponge in the water, like, oh, I miss humans. I miss being around people. I miss the water hole experience and community and just bonding with people and talking and having funny conversations and laughing. So I'm so grateful. I'm not a got it at the mall artist. I'm an artist in the literal sense of the word. Art comes to, comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. That's what I believe it's Caesar Cruz who said that. I might have the name wrong, but that's the meaning of what art is. And I'm a true artist in the sense of the word. I'm not a got it at the mall artist. I'm not an artist out here like, look at me, I'm on this level and I want y'all to be in mine. That's not what this is about. Aura Orbit is not about that at all, actually. This is the artistry of come play, be entertained, and also get a nugget, get some inspiration, get something that'll help spark more life, team more life into the world. I keep having dreams about babies. And sometimes I have dreams where I see that I'm never having another child. I'm gonna say that right now, but but I'll have dreams where I'm pregnant, and I know that's dealing with whatever the new song or idea is. And recently I had a dream where I was rubbing a belly that I knew was growing life, and then I looked around my room and there was a crib like for a newborn. And then there was another crib where, when the newborn is 6 months and you have to lower the mattress. Then there was a toddler bed. Then there was a twin bed. And then I remember picking up my kid because he was getting bigger. And I had to put him in a whole nother room because there was more babies coming. And I just was like, when I woke up and I laughed and I said, oh, wow, I got more music. And then shortly after, like the next day, I started writing more material exponentially. So it's teeming. This stuff is teeming with life. When I look at some of the artists who have passed on, like this week I looked at Prince, looking at David Bowie, just some of those artists, Whitney Houston, and Luther Vandross. Now Tito is gone. Tito Jackson. I was even looking at Don't Blame It on Sunshine. And I had a moment like, oh my God, like wow, Michael and Tito. These are all artists who we got to witness operate and work out whatever was going on within them. And they produce legacies that now outlive them. Oh yeah, Cat Glover passed away was it the beginning of this week or last week? Hit me like a ton of bricks when I saw that one. Because I used to dance. I danced for DC Dance Center for 10 years. And I remember having that magazine from Ebony, because this was around when Sign of the Times was out. And I just remember her in those leotards, and she'd hit those poses and do like leg lifts and spins, and just watching her in that I took a movement class in theater, and my instructor really got into me about when you exude your movement in your art. Dance is still important to me, even though I know I'm a big girl right now. Dance is still, it's an athletic thing. It's still important to me. The movement, the pizzazz that comes out of you when you're doing that, and that creative, watch some dancers and you'll know exactly. I don't care what kind of dance it is. Watch them and watch what happens. Cat Glover, oh my God, man, she's an ancestor now. But to be alive to witness the legacy she left behind. It's stuff like that. The work I do and the work that any artist does is supposed to outlive us. It's supposed to go beyond us, because I always say it doesn't belong to us. God uses it and uses us as conduits. Michael Jackson said it in that interview with Oprah. He said it's when divinity, I might be paraphrasing it, but what he was saying, it's a divinity connection. There's something that's happening. You connect. Not like a channeling. It's more of a connecting thing. Because if you're a songwriter like me, or you're a musician, sometimes those melodies hit you at times. Like you could be asleep, you could be driving, and it hits you. And if you don't record it, it's gone. Or it'll come back in a different form, but not the way it first came out in that first draft. And it does not let you go. I remember last week, what's that part? The end of Aura Orbit, I say, come be my Saturn, be my moon, come into my aura and orbit, baby. And then I started playing my keyboard, and it took me into a song I had already wrote called Sweet Pursuit. Ooh, you make me smile in my heart every time I think you are near. Because you're messing up my orbit. No, I'm saying. Oh, you make me laugh in my soul. Feels so good to lose control. That I wrote Sweet Pursuit in 2008 after watching The Pursuit of Happiness. Watched that movie, cried my little eyes out on my couch, went to my keyboard and started plugging in that chord. I went from A to C sharp over A. I think it was F to E. I might be saying it wrong. And I just started, you're my sweet pursuit of happiness. You are my life, my liberty, my joy. Yeah. No meaning to life and you don't exist. 'Cause life without you is such a bore. I see amber, I see gold, I see rosy red when you're around me. It's never cold. I feel your shelter, I feel the warmth inside. Nothing else matters. And then I go right back into be my Saturn, be my moon, come into my aura and orbit, baby. These songs, these melodies. What was it? I'm thinking of something that Janelle Monáe sang. Unlock the magic in the melody. There's a mystery in the melody. Tandem songs, 2 songs that I wrote in different times. Sweet Pursuit was written in 2008. Aura in Orbit, pieces of it have been written. Some of it was written in 2018, and then the rest of it was written now. Like, I hum things, and I'll sit and hum them for months. And I'm like, I call them doodads. And I'll be like, I know I'm going to use this doodad somewhere. So I'll record it in my phone, or I'll go in my room and set up my thing, and I'll record it there. And then I'll work on something, and I'll be like, I need a bridge. I need a verse. I need a pre-hook. And it'll come back, and I'll be like, that works. Let's link them up, you know? And so, as I was singing those things, Sweet Pursuit of Happiness, that has so many different meanings to me. When I wrote Sweet Pursuit of Happiness, I was thinking about the story of In the Pursuit of Happiness and how that man had to fight for his baby, the job, just to snatch up a piece of life, liberty, and joy, because that's what we're supposed to do as Americans, right? And then I began to take that song and think about my music. Think about my art. Think about how I feel when I sit at my keyboard and just write a song. And that's where that song hit me. Then when I had my little boy, that song starts hitting me now even more. Because then the expansion of Sweet Pursuit of Happiness, life, liberty, and joy now expands from Chanel to also, what life do I create for Nathaniel? The responsibility of his parent, the responsibility of being his mommy, is making sure that he's protected and can pursue that life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So I got to make sure my aura, what's orbiting around me, is perfect for foundation and for life to team for him. Because as you can see, he's 10 years old. This boy making stop motions and drawings and art, and he comes up with these characters, and him and Jamila crack me up all day. And at some time I'm going to slow down enough to help both of them organize it in a tangible medium. That's what Beaver Wilson Girls and Son Media LLC is all about. That's my business. Beaver Wilson Girls and Sons Media LLC. The offshoots of all the things that I do with that are MJC Rocks. That's what Jamila, Mary, and myself used to do when they were little. We would do a lot of creative skits in the house. We'd do the film, and we never uploaded them. I don't know why. I didn't understand YouTube or the power of it. Had we uploaded it, our channels would have been a lot better. We've got hundreds of videos of us just doing funny skits like that, and we'll just watch them at home and just be like, oh my God, that was hilarious. Some of these songs, like my publishing company, Pom Pom Tree Publishing, the song me and Jamila wrote when she was 6 years old. Jamila wrote the bulk of that song. I wrote some of it, but she hit the bulk of it. She hit the bulk of Grow Grow Baby, and then the ending, Grow Grow Baby. She was on her djembe. On the djembe. And we were singing it together because we were doing our lesson, because they did homeschool. I used to teach them too in homeschooling when we were younger, when they were little and I was in my 20s. And she was on her djembe, and we were in the middle. I had my little tambourine, and we're going with it. And she just went, grow, grow, baby. And then she just went, take me to the place. And she started hitting her djembe. Oh, where the palm trees are, where the palm trees are. I wish I had a video. We recorded it. We were recording it on a tape recorder, but I didn't have video. And I was just like, oh, my baby, like my 6-year-old Jamila. These things are within us. It's a community. It's a water hole experience. And it's important that we're free enough that we can operate out of our gifts, and that we can let our children and our nieces and our nephews and our cousins freely operate out of those gifts. That was church to me. watching my 6-year-old sister release that pom tree song the way she did. That's my publishing company name. And the reason why we call it pom tree is because when the girls were toddlers, 3 and 6, what I would do, because I helped raise them, I would take them over in Alameda, where the Raiders used to practice, where that harbor area, and we would just walk all the way. We walk from where the water is all the way up to where the corporate offices were, and a lot of palm trees. So the girls would say, "Ooh, the pom trees." They were little, like 3 and 6, so that's how they would say, the pom trees, and that's where it was developed. And the way I see the palm tree, my cousin Marlon always talks about this with me. He drew a very beautiful picture. He saw a vision because he's a drawing artist, and he sings too. Amazing vocalist. He said, "I see these pillars. I see these 3 pillars. I see you. I see me. I see our cousin Kendra. I see so many other pillars. But the palm tree, the importance of the palm tree. The roots go deep, but the extension of the palm tree gets so tall." And when the wind hits it, it can go all the way down to the ground and come back. Some palm trees do fall and never get back up. I do get that. But most of them can sway, and go back and forth and not fall, right? And it's because of how strong their roots are. We had a palm tree at our Hayward house, and it got cut down because my dad wanted this big satellite. My daddy's really into gear. My dad should be an engineer, even though I don't think that's his thing. He's an English major, so I don't think gear is his thing in as far as fixing it, but he's into gear. If it's the latest gear, he's got to have it. And so in the 80s, we didn't have a small set. We were the only people who had the big satellite, the ones you would see at NASA. That thing was as big as our roof. They had to come cement it. The team came out, put the cement in the ground, put a pole in the ground, and then put that satellite up. When they divorced, he had it uprooted and taken to his other house, and they did it again. Put that big cement in the ground and that big old satellite at the new house. At him and my stepmom's house. And we were the only ones on the block that had it. But what I'm getting at is the palm tree. It represents any tree. And how trees grow represents so much knowledge. How trees grow down and up. But that palm tree is resilient. The wind knocks it back and forth, and it just stays its course. It's coming right back up to position. That's Aura in Orbit too. No matter what comes in my life, I'm coming back to my position. You may have knocked me, may have given me a hard blow to my face, but guess what? When the push comes to shove, when the push comes to shove, and my back's against the wall, ain't got no choice to break you off. Watch your jaw, 'cause something's coming on. That's another song that I have not released. It's called Divitude. I'll have that up, hopefully in this run. I've written like 30 songs, but we are doing the narrow down to the best 11 for this next project. So that's one of them that's in there. But the point that I'm making is, no matter how much wind comes, we got to work on that pivot. We got to keep our head on the swivel and really work on that pivot. So this was probably another long one, and I don't apologize for it, because these Friday lives that I like to do, I go back and listen to them, and I write down so many notes and nuggets and just get so much from it. So I hope what I had to share today blessed you in some kind of way. I'm not perfect. I got to say that every day. I feel like I have to say that every day now. I'm not perfect, but I am human. I'm beautifully human. I'm here. I'm still here. And the fact that I'm saying that I'm still here is the testimony. I'm still here. I could have physically ended it in 2006, right before I wrote Light. Light is very important. I was ready. The opening lyric, thought about giving up today. The literal meaning of the words. I thought about giving up. I had just moved, It was the first time in my life where I was by myself. I didn't have any, and I'm the oldest of 5 girls. I'm the oldest grandchild. I went back and forth with my parents. So it was the first time I was in my own house. How you doing? Marshawn? Yeah, the playback, because I'm about to end it soon. But yeah, just watch the playback. I was in my own apartment for the first time, and I was alone with my thoughts. I was alone with my racing, overthinking mind. I was alone with every broken record, negative thing that was ever said. It's not so much that I wasn't happy. I was trying to gain a sense of who the heck I was outside of all that I had just pushed out of. Because getting to that apartment was a big deal. Some people didn't want me to move out on my own at that time. And something in my spirit says, you have to. You cannot stay here anymore. You are 26 years old. You have to get out here and live your life now and learn. Hi. And it was hard. And it's hard for anyone who has to do that. Don't get me wrong. But my world, my church girl world, it's my own house? I could sit something down, nobody's gonna move it. Like, nobody's gonna walk in this house and tell me what I have to do. Nobody's gonna come in this house and take something from me. It's my house. I don't have to pack a bag and go to somebody else's house. 26. I thought I was gonna be married by then. I don't have a husband yet. They said I was supposed to have a husband. No. I was supposed to be single, 26, and in that apartment to be alone with Chanel. To harness Chanel's aura and orbit. Yes, I was. And the way that happened, it opened up so simply. It was the most simple situation ever. Found the place, went in, took them because I had 2 jobs, took them my stubs. They said, not only will we take you, we're going to give you a discount and knock off $200 off your rent. So you're not even going to get this at market value. And it's not I was signing up for a junior apartment and they gave me the larger one. Like when I tell you that God opened that door up, I walked in that place. I didn't know what I was going to put in it. Family, my support system, hear me. And I'm still grateful. People will try to say I'm not grateful. My aunt showed up with stuff she didn't need no more. Nice couch. Nice stuff. Then my other aunt showed up with my aunt from my mom's side, and then my aunt from my dad's side showed up with the stuff that she didn't need no more from her old apartment and put it in there. And then I came in with my own bed and my other thing. Then a friend called me and was like, Chanel, do you need a table set? I said, yes. Showed up with a table set. Showed up with, you name it. Then I had to buy a new computer. And my job said, look, we have that demo Mac up there. We will sell it to you for under price. And it works still good. So I got a G4 Mac that was like $1,700 for like $600. When I tell you, I was supposed to do this. Like, it was like, God was like, you gonna move in this apartment? You gonna set up your music? You gonna have the right computer? Because, you can't really do it on a PC. A PC breaks down. Unless you upgrade it, and even then, it still does not compare to a Mac. When you do software with music, the Mac is so superior. Nathaniel at 10 knows this and will look at me and say, Mom, I don't want no PC. I don't even like Android. I need my own Mac for what I got to do. And I know exactly what he means. All he talks about right now is Final Cut Pro. That's all he wants. I got to get my Final Cut Pro. And I'm just tickled because I was saying this stuff at 26. I got to get my Mac. I got to get my Final Cut Pro. And my child is now saying it at 10. Victory! The next generation will always outdo you. Victory! Okay? So, yeah. I don't know why I'm sharing this story. Yeah. It walked in there. These people gave me and then the man who hooked me up was gone the next month. They had a whole new team. I was like, what happened to the guy who got me in? Oh, yeah, he moved to another place. When I tell you, when it's meant, that door opens the way it's supposed to open. And yeah, got through it, wrote that song. I even reached out to a couple of music people because I wanted to do like a compilation project back then. I had all these ideas. And, you know, I know back then because I was young, I was 20, I hadn't really done anything yet. People were kind of like, well, what does that look like? And it's not that they didn't believe in me. We all were just in our own places. So now, 20 years later, I see the vision. Now I can look at the body of work, the videos I put out, and I see it. It's working. It's there. The plan is working. My friend, my producer and I always talk about the plan. Just follow the plan. Just stick to the plan. Work the plan. Be consistent in the plan, and it'll work. Time sucks because we old and we got kids and we got jobs, but work the plan. It's something will give. Don't give up. If you're an artist, this is for all my artist people out there. Hey, good. Yes! I just got a notification. I guess my song is on the radio in Italy. Aura Orbit just went international, y'all. Yes! Oh! Thank you, Lord. Of course, that came through while I'm on here. Yes, Aura Orbit just went international. I just got a notification that they're playing it on their radio station in Italy. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Okay. I have a Facebook for this song, okay? Because every song I write is called refining. Every song I do, it's me tapping back into my A game. It's me showing up. It's me saying I'm not giving up because I did not give myself the proper time to pursue this stuff. What is on my screen? Okay, I see what that is. Every time I have that moment of do I give up, it's the same thing. Did I try? Did I submit my best work to a top, not so much top producer, but to a top executive or to a good opportunity? Did I reach any of my goals, my benchmark goals? I'm not going to say them here. I have them written down in my journal, but I got some benchmark goals. And I had to ask myself, did I even try? Did I audition? Did I take the music there? Did I do that? So no, I can't give up yet because I didn't try. I could see if I tried and went to the audition and they said, you know, you ain't got it. Because anytime I do a review, they tell me the same thing. You have a lane. Stay in it and keep working it. I've submitted some stuff to some sync deals and some of the reports I get back. Potential. This is really good. This has the potential to be a really good song. I need you to go back and re-sing it because I know you can sing better than what you just gave me. As far as they say, because I can be a lazy singer. I do admit that. And then they'll say, get the production tighter and then come back with your A game. That's what they tell me every time I do something. It's not, you suck, do something else, it's out of key, it's out of pitch. No, they say you got the potential. So don't give up when you're jumping from beginner to intermediate. I keep telling myself I want to be a professional. Right now I'm living in the land of intermediate and I got to get out of it. It's like purgatory. But the way to get out of it is shed, practice, be consistent, keep making your videos, keep making your content, keep campaigning, put out the work, and don't just put a link up and say, hey, check out my work. Make a music video. DIY it. We don't need to hire big production. I'm not saying that your first DIY is going to be great. No, it may not be Scorsese. It may not be Spike Lee right away. Thank you so much, Allison. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, It may not be. See, what I live in right now is Chanel scale down. Because I study my greats. I like what Prince did. Sign of the Times is awesome. Okay, Cat Glover up there. I study Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson style videos. Okay, I love all that special effects and VVX and CGI and costuming. My mom used to sew all my costumes in theater, and guess what? She still does it now. So I get my braided wig. In this latest video, I was inspired by Lydia Dietz's character from Beetlejuice because we went and saw Beetlejuice last week. So that's why you see me in that look. And it's October, it's Halloween, so I always like doing some of Black Heart on the Table, do marketing in this Halloween time, because that's what it feels like. That's why you got the black, red, and white, because it's still playing on the chanteuse, the magician, the Maleficent character, in the sense of Maleficent is not really a villain. They just paint her that way. You know how Jessica Rabbit says, what does she say? I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. It's theater. That's all it is. It's theater. So, oh my God. FYI to everybody, I just got notification that my single Aura in Orbit is going to be played on Black Planet Radio in Italy. So, we have just gone international. Let it spread like wildfire, baby. Spread! Ah! I'm so excited, y'all. Oh my God. Y'all know I'm quirky. Oh my God. Thank you, Allison. Oh, thank you. We can't give up. What was that? You posted this. It was a post you had made, said, I don't care if you 50, get on that stage and keep singing and die at 93 on the stage. I'm paraphrasing what you put, but that hit me like a ton of bricks, because it's the truth. Oh, thank you, Allison. It is, we have to keep lighting our fire. We have to keep that flame going. It's so imperative. If I do a moderation for a podcast, and the host was saying, Christopher, he was saying, you got to believe in what you're doing. Like, you can't, this is not some little, you don't just put it out there and hope for other people to believe. You first got to believe in it. And when I wrote this song, and then Hank put it together, my producer, Poetic Beats, he put it together, and I'm just like, God, this got some good potential. We can do something with this. Wait a minute. And then I said, I can do a better singing job. Let me refine these vocals. And he was like, all right. So I refined my vocals, and then I sent it back, and then he was like, wait a minute, I got some stuff I got to fix. So he fixed some stuff, and then sent me his mix and master. And I'm just like, oh my God, look what we just did, homie. Oh my God. Bro, like, it was like, big bro, we did it. We refined it. We found the missing links of where we, because, you know, process is important. You got to find your creative vibe and process as you sing. And as you do it, make sure you're in the right setting when you sing. I live off of a freeway. It gets really noisy in my house. So sometimes I got to really zen out and calm down and close and lock the door and sing, or wherever. If I go to his house and sing, I got to really, you know, just zone out. But we got to make sure we get that right dial in. But, right, normalize that. But I feel it. It's just, goes back to that line. Teeming with life. Teeming with life. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I needed that ding today, especially today on Friday. So Aura in Orbit is playing in Italy, y'all. I'm so happy. The Aura in Orbit compilation is out. Y'all check it out on Bandcamp. You can stream it, and then please just download it. If you're an artist, keep your head on the swivel. Keep going. Thank you, Allison. Keep going. Don't give up. If you're in intermediate land like I am, keep shedding, keep refining. You will get to professional. You will reach your, I don't care if I'm 50 years old hitting them, you're fine, goals. I believe I'll get there quicker if I just keep going, and I'll hit it in my 40s, but I keep saying, just retire and sink. Keep going, and then when you can't perform anymore, retire and sink, and just write a whole lot of sync material, and that's how we gonna do this. But there's still that fire. I ride my bike every day now, because I wanna I owe it to myself to get back on that stage and perform the way I used to. I'm a full body performer. I like to be all on that stage with my mic and get in there. And me and that chair have been a crutch after my little injury. So me and this bike are becoming one. My diaphragm becoming one. My allergies have been whatever. It's because of where we live. But it's not stopping me. I'm not, another song. I'm not gonna let it stop me, 'cause I'm going all the way. Oh, keep fighting. I got all these allergies, but I'm gonna sing through it. Keep moving, keep going, get there, get there, get there. Every song I write is inspiration. It's a nugget. It's something that I've been through that speaks to me. I remember I was telling my dad, it's my therapy. And he kind of was like, what you mean by that? And I was like, it's my therapy. It gets me through what I gotta get through. There's so much more I could say, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna get off, cause y'all about to see me jump up in a minute, cause I just got all this good news, and I'm on here talking about the Aura and Orbit, and then look at that, ah, yes. So yeah, the Aura and Orbit compilation is out. Stream it, listen to it, and please download it if you're able to. That really helps me out a lot. It's on all streaming platforms, so please stream it in excess if you can. Use it in your reels. Play it at your barbecues, your birthday parties. Play it in the club. It's a dance R&B record. That's what we were going for with this one. If you're a dancer, please make a TikTok out of it and dance. We need a dance challenge. I'm sitting up here thinking of some moves now that I can get up here and do. And I'll put a little costume on and I can get some things going. I have like a couple of dance routines. I've got enough footage to make 7 music videos, and guess what? I told myself today I'm going to do that because I can. That's what it means to be a DIY artist. Every time I edit, I learn something new. So I should have my music video up tonight. By tonight. So I'll get that ready, and then I'll let everybody know. Facebook, since I've converted to the professional mode, I have to be careful how I post my music because it flags it and it'll restrict my account, and I don't want that to happen. So what I've been learning is if I upload it and then use the real music under it, it can play. So if it allows me to do that, I'll do that. If not, I'll put all the links up for the YouTube, Instagram. I'm trying to think of all of the platforms I could put it on. Threads. Do I have any other platforms that I use? Well, any other platform that I'm on, I'll put it up there as long as it doesn't restrict it. Because my old music account, I put my light video up and it got restricted because it was my own music. That's what happens in Facebook, but on all the other platforms it lets you do it. So let me figure that out because I want you guys all to see it. I know when you're in one platform, you want to try to keep everybody in the same platform. So I'm trying to stick to those rules. But if it doesn't allow me, I'll try to do snippets of it and then just cue the library music. But please use those reels. And if you're a musician, reels go to your PRO. So if you have a song out, play your own reel in your video and encourage your family, your friends, your fans, and your followers to play your reels. It'll go back to your PRO. I tell everybody I know because I got one of my reports and I was like, wait, what is this? I'm like, oh, that's our reel. Had no idea. You learn something new every day. I'm also going to do a how-to series on DIY music. There's some things I learned this year about certain things we're supposed to add to, like there's documents, there's MLC, there's a Google list, because it's not SoundScan anymore. It's a whole list. So I'm gonna do a couple of things that I learned. I even learned some things about artificial streaming and how you think you may be signing up with a reputable advertising company to promote your work, and then they're still using bots or something, and then with that, it can flag you, even though you weren't making it with bots, but they were. They may say they're not, but they were. It can mess your accounts up. So I'm gonna start doing little how-to series, and I'll post it here in Facebook and on YouTube. I believe in sharing information. It's the fishing method. I could give somebody a plate of fish and eat, or I can take you out and teach you how to fish, and then you can feed yourself for life. There's enough information out here for all of us to succeed. We're strong when we're united. Indie strong. That's what I've always been saying. Content creators unite. Okay, I am Chanel J. Wilson. I will definitely be back for more. I'm going to now sit myself down and finish editing this video. Everything that wants to happen, but it's okay. get that out, and then if my allergies don't do too much, I may get on here and sing a little live with my keyboard. Like I said, Facebook flags it when you play the music if I sing to a track, but if I sing it to my keyboard, it may not. And then if not, then I'll do it live on Instagram or on YouTube. Not all my stuff, but I may sing Aura in Orbit, Draw Near to Me, maybe do a poem or something. That's if my allergies hold up, because as you can see, it's doing the most. I'm taking Zyrtex and stuff. But have a good one. Have a happy Friday. I love you all. I love you all. Woo! Aura in Orbit. Oh, I can't stop laughing. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. I'm trying to hit the button, but it's not letting me. One second. Wait, slow connection. Woo!